minutes. Oh, I got to turn this up, huh?
I got nothing to lose. Minute for minute, then a minute to win it. Sky's the limit. Sorry, I'm super. Gotta admit it, yeah, I'm over the limit. Left car down with it, one-way ticket. Rolled up with it. Fuck that bitch. Turn down with it, lit my lips. Piss like I feel like crazy eights. Let's see y'all pivot. Ball my court, bounce back with number 24. Shit footprint right off my image. Don't just love, cause you can less. Double that song. Once I love, once I hate. Either way, I listen.
So we're going to talk about this tonight. But welcome to the War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first and only dating site exclusively for wrestling fans. Fans of rappers, I suppose. If you're that big of a fan of Enzo, you're following his new rap career, which we're listening to, which, you know, has nothing at all to do about the date rape accusations at all.
My consensual penis?
Yeah, he did just say my consensual penis. That's the thing.
I mean, I guess, it's good to see him back out there.
Out there is certainly a way.
That's putting it mildly.
I know there's a petition going around to have WWE bring Enzo back, which, quite honestly, I mean, if their reasoning for releasing him was because of this accusation and it's been dropped, then outside of the fact that most of the locker room couldn't stand him, they should bring him back. But
see,
yeah.
the reason they released him though was because they said he knew that this investigation was going on and he didn't disclose it to the WWE.
Right, that was the issue.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's over. It was.
Yeah, but now the other issue is that he's released this music video. If he wanted to be with the WWE, he wouldn't have released this music video.
I can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, the whole promo with it's the 25th year of wrestling and everything like that.
Yeah, because here's the thing. He talks shit about wrestling fans, first of all, and made them all fat, fat people with old computers eating Cheetos. And then the song is and who am I to judge the content of the song? But I'm just going to say it doesn't seem within the PG theme of the WWE that he's telling people to go fuck themselves and giving the middle finger and dragging a coffin behind a dirt bike. It just, a lot of it seems like things that the WWE wouldn't approve of. So I don't know if they'd consider bringing him back.
Well, listen,
someone did the crotch shot in it too.
Yeah, he also can't wrestle. So
I mean,
if they're going to bring him back, they have to give him wrestling lessons.
From his side of things, though, he's obviously got a lot of anger towards the WWE for letting him go in the first place.
He's got a lot of anger in general towards this whole situation, which you can tell through making a music. He spent money to make a fucking music video about how angry he is. He's angry.
Right.
He's very angry.
He's pissed off because, the lies that ultimately he probably thinks ruined his wrestling career.
Which they I'm not going to downplay that. It definitely had a lot to do with it.
And the fans that he's shitting on, not that I agree, but those are the ones that have probably been trolling him, since the beginning of this whole thing. And so, he's basically like, fuck you, He
had a whole verse in there about how false accusations hurt the Me Too movement. He starts to get deep. Like, he gets deeper than, but his voice is just not, I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't care for it, but hey, different strokes for different folks.
I thought it was great.
I didn't think it was a good PR move in terms of if he wants to be his own entity and he wants to do his own deal, then yes, that was a great idea. If he wants to go back to the WWE, probably
I don't think he does. I don't think he does, though. Like, he even said the whole thing, like, I'm suing TMZ. I mean, it was in there and everything.
TMZ owes me restitution. Good luck on that one.
I thought it was brilliant.
I think it would be funny if he did actually sue TMZ. I wouldn't have an issue with that.
I'm a lawyer.
I don't know. What do you do? Does he just go into rap now? Is he going to be a rapper or is he going to wrestle? Is he going to do both? Is Billy Corgan going to hire him for the NWA? And then he's going to rap and sing and wrestle? And I don't know where does Enzo's career go? I guess this is a good good speculation as any. If you had to guess, where does Enzo's career go from here?
I mean, listen, he could make a shit ton of money on the indie scene.
Big time.
You know, I mean, he'd be a main event guy on the indies because he's Enzo. So he could clean up doing that route. I mean, listen, Ring of Honor is always an option. TNA is always an option. But I think ultimately, does he want, you're right. I mean, is it that he wants to rap or does he want to do both?
It always seemed like he was a guy that was very outspoken, or at least gave the impression that wrestling was a means to an end, and the end was being famous. Mm-hmm. So, like, I feel like he wanted to be famous, and whether it was Tough Enough or American Idol or America's Got Talent or whatever it was, he was going to get on TV. So he found wrestling, and he went that way as kind of a side, like a side door into the entertainment industry, and goes, "Oh, didn't you know? I rap too, and I sound like Tony Danza when I do it."
He freaking had a huge show up yesterday at Times Square, though.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you're giving away free T-shirts in New York City. I think you're going to sell out. That's the best part about it. It's like, I want to know.
People don't know who he is, especially people in New York and New Jersey. I mean,
Yep.
I love it.
It was a huge turnout.
I'm going to be in my city. I was born in Jersey, but New York is my city. Oh!
All people in Jersey say that.
Everybody in Jersey and New York say that. When we say we're talking about our brothers next door, we're talking about, everybody knows you're talking about Jersey.
He's a bridge and tunnel, and you know it.
Pretty much.
He's a bridge and tunnel. But anyway, listen, I'm not going to knock the guy. He's trying to make a career. I guess we'll see, because if he follows it up with more rap tracks and follows it up with, I don't know what it's all about. The follow-up here.
I think there is more coming, actually.
If he puts out an album, all right, we'll give it a listen. We'll play it on the show. we'll review it.
Aren't you glad from Nebraska doesn't listen anymore? Because Lord knows what she'd say about that.
Rap music. Well, it was a white guy rapping, so I think she'd be fine.
She won't admit it, but she still.
I'm sure she does. How's the corn in Nebraska this season?
Oh, God.
It's probably ripe by now. But
that's where Brock Lesnar is. Never mind.
He lives in Canada now. He just holes up somewhere and kills moose.
But that's part of his contract. It was like, I have to be off during farming season.
Yeah, that was like when Sid would take off for softball games in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I love Sid, and I've talked to Sid about softball before, which is funny because you've never seen a guy light up like if you've ever mentioned softball to Sid, because I'm sure everybody says the same. Man, remember when you jumped off the top rope and broke your leg, and then you remember when you powerbombed this guy, and you remember when this happened? And like I talked to him about softball, and he was just like, "Yo, I fucking love softball." So he's just a big kid. I like it, but I mean that was the biggest run of wrestling until the Attitude Era. He was in there during Hulkamania, and just everything was hot. And you're gonna play softball? You could be making millions of dollars, and you're gonna play softball now when you're retired. Like, make your money, man. He could have saved all that money in the 80s and then played softball through the 90s and didn't even need to bother with the Attitude Era. But it was the 80s, so not everybody did that.
To each his own.
Wasn't the way of the world at that time, but I wonder if they started a softball league. They could have accommodated him. They could have had like a WWE softball league. And
Iron Sheik God, can you imagine?
Yeah, just like an old 80s softball team, and the Iron Sheik and it was the manager of one team, and Hulk was the manager of the other team. It'd be great, like when MTV used to do it.
That would have been awesome. I would pay to see that.
That needs to come back. They need to bring back. I think that would be a nice WWE thing to do with MTV. Bring back Rock and Jock.
Rock and Jock was the shit.
That was good shit.
That was all the basketball one, and then they did softball. It was all very cool. So yeah, I would support Rock and Jock coming back. But what do we got in the wrestling news world today, aside from Enzo Amore being the next SoundCloud rapper here?
We got Sasha Banks winning the gauntlet.
Oh yeah, Sasha Banks won.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
She actually won a match.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but they got with Bailey being in Money in the Bank, they had to put her in Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm excited for Money in the Bank. It's turning out to be all right. I think it's going to be pretty good. We have to go. So what the fuck with the segment with Nia and Ronda Rousey last night?
My God.
I mean, I think it just kind of solidifies even more that Ronda's going to not only win, but I think she's going to destroy Nia.
Well, yeah.
Because the fact that she came out, got in the ring, didn't say a word, and looked like not scared, but maybe a little concern in her face towards the end, and then not saying anything, and Nia just laughing it off like what a joke. She's going to get destroyed.
And I feel like, first of all, the funny thing is, I read it online. They're talking about Nia breaking the armbar or not being able. Asuka tapped her out with an armbar like a month ago, and Bayley beat her with the guillotine choke back in NXT. She loses by she's lost by tap out before, so this whole thing doesn't make any sense.
And to the bank statement.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
true.
banks, and again another submission hold. So it's not like she's some great technical, and that's really I feel bad because Nia's in a tough spot. She's a big girl, and usually even big guys are not usually the most technical wrestlers.
And clearly they don't know what the fuck to do with her.
They absolutely don't.
Absolutely.
Because she was heel, and now all of a sudden she was
what kind of
face,
shit was that?
And then she was face for like, an hour or two.
A minute.
And then now she's heel again and telling the crowd to shut up. She knows her name,
You're
so it's like,
me.
I just, they don't know what they're doing with her. I mean, I don't necessarily think her being heel is the wrong play, but after what just happened with Bliss, and it was such a big, like, you felt for Nia, so everyone, kind of fell in love with her. And now the whole thing is stupid. It makes no sense. And
what if Alexa turns face by going, see, she is a bully, and then all of a sudden Alexa's a baby face?
I mean, listen,
Oh,
in this business, anything is possible. I just, come on. I think the biggest problem I'm having is Ronda just should not get the title right now.
And I agree with you.
Absolutely.
She needs to be kept away from it and build the anticipation of when is she going to get a title match.
I mean, they're screwing up. They're just screwing this up. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean,
and it's easy stuff. Like it's not like you're taking somebody who can't wrestle and isn't a celebrity. She can wrestle, and she's one of the biggest celebrities in the world. Capitalize on it. In
Vince, here's the problem. You kind of look at it and you say, okay, the decision was made to put the belt or give Ronda the title shot because of ratings. But with the star power that Ronda brings, she could have fought anybody. The fact that she would have been booked to be in a match is all you needed. It didn't have to be a title. Nobody wants it to be a title.
I agree. They should almost have done a thing where Kurt Angle or Stephanie McMahon or somebody sets up, Ronda wins a couple matches on Raw. While she's wrestling on Raw, a couple weeks she wins the matches, she gets some momentum. She goes, I want a title shot. And then maybe heels Stephanie McMahon goes, you only been wrestling here for 2 months. You haven't earned a title shot yet. Blah, blah, blah. Go through a whole deal and set up a path where Stephanie says, okay, I'm going to pick out 10 challengers. And every week you're going to fight one. And at the end of 10 weeks, if you beat all of them, you can have your title shot. And then you build to it. You get to like the 8th match and Stephanie interferes and tries to screw. You just do little things like that to build interest in the title shot, because it's not necessarily about winning it. It is. Here's the thing. They have to know. Jim Cornette would put some sort of masturbation joke in here, but I'll tell it as straight as I can here. You have to know how long to tease the audience before giving them the payoff. And they don't have that sense of spacing right now. They're pulling the trigger too quickly on some things, and then like on the flip side, you've got Bayley and Sasha, who you should have had in a feud 6 months ago or 8 months ago. Nothing's come of it, and they turn on each other, and then they're friends the next week, and then they're tag teaming, and one of them walks away, but then one of them will save the other one in a singles match. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So they drag shit out unnecessarily on one side, but then the other side don't realize when to give things a couple more weeks to breathe. Because I think Ronda should have been built up that Ronda's road to SummerSlam started with Money in the Bank, and Stephanie put a challenger out. Okay, if you win at Money in the Bank, you continue along this, this path, and you'll get a number one contender. You're not going to get a title match at SummerSlam. You're going to get a number one contenders match opportunity. So you against somebody else to get the number one contender, and then build to like Survivor Series where she gets the title match. I don't know. I'm just trying to think like a wrestling booker would. And
they could have even put her in Money in the Bank.
Could you fucking imagine? People would have lost their minds.
Yep.
At Ronda Rousey climbing a ladder, doing an elbow drop off the ladder, doing a moonsault off a ladder, just hitting somebody with a ladder. Holy shit. Any of that stuff would have lost their minds. And maybe she says no. Maybe she said no because she wants to, she's not ready for it. Maybe they didn't think she's ready for it, whatever the case is.
But she's ready for a title match?
And I was just thinking the same thing. But if she's
I think she's more ready for the Money in the Bank, even if she doesn't win it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. How does Ronda lose?
Oh, this match tonight, she can't.
Stephanie McMahon.
I mean, it has to be a screw job. Because
I was just going to say, we're going to do Montreal.
She can't lose clean.
So then it would have to be Natalya.
Or...
That's too soon, I think.
Or Ronda puts Nia in an armbar, but Nia stacks her up and gets the pin as Nia's tapping out. You know what I mean? She gets Ronda's shoulders on the mat, but she still technically has the armbar locked in.
Yeah, that could work.
I don't know. Again, we're starting with the conclusion that Ronda needed to be in a title match right now. And we're trying to... They're booking themselves out of it instead of booking towards something. They're trying to book themselves out of a box they created for themselves. It's not even like something happened where somebody got injured or caught with steroids or whatever. They made this situation, and now there's no good finish. There's no good finish. I'll be excited for Ronda if she wins, but I don't think she's ready.
No, she's totally not ready.
And I don't mean ready in a wrestling sense because she's probably good with the wrestling. We've seen the matches she's wrestling, but what I mean is, even though this is a television program, and even though there are writers, it is presented as an athletic competition where the most worthy competitors, or the ones that find some sort of advantage, whether it's cheating or whatever, they get ahead. The people who win matches get title shots, unless you're Roman Reigns. But I think they had an opportunity with Ronda to show that path. You came into you were a world champion in the UFC, but you're starting at the bottom right now and you're working your way up. And if she worked her way up slowly over the course of a year, and her first ever title match was at WrestleMania against Charlotte,
right? Different story.
Completely different story.
Well, like here, and it, like Eric just said, because Eric's listening. So he just says he feels that they're making the same mistake with Ronda that they're making with Asuka, and that's where I disagree. I don't think they're making a mistake with Asuka. You can't compare Asuka and Ronda. Asuka's been wrestling for 20 years. Ronda's been wrestling for, a few months.
I think they're mismanaging Asuka as well since this whole...
Well, they're setting Asuka up for a title shot, and I think that's where Eric's going. And my point is, I'm okay with Asuka winning the belt. Asuka's one of the baddest women in the division. And that's not to say Ronda's not, but Ronda hasn't earned it yet.
We're all on the same page here, man. I think Ronda needed another couple months to a year just to make it. And I know we hotshot everything now, and people's attention spans are. Listen, I get it because until somebody posted something online, I didn't realize that Nia had already tapped out to an armbar with Asuka. Because nothing that happens on TV fucking matters anymore. The matches that happen on TV don't matter. Nothing feels like it. There's a consequence to the show. So who cares if Nia tapped out 2 months ago to an armbar? Now we're just going to forget that ever happened, and now she's suddenly some submission expert. And this is what's going to happen when Fox signs the dotted line. When you get that Fox money, you don't have to worry about shit.
Oh, that's true. Well, so
Eric still thinks that Asuka should have won at Mania, and maybe, but I think she could still be presented. You can lose one match and still be somebody who won 150 fucking matches in a row and then lost one and still be a badass that taps people out in 2 minutes. they could still be doing something with her that's substantial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had to go down. The whole thing was silly because they booked themselves into a corner with this Carmella situation. Carmella somehow had to win the WWE Women's Championship or the SmackDown Women's Championship. So they booked themselves into a corner with Charlotte and then the Iconics getting involved. Now the Iconics have nothing to do with anybody in that feud. And they're talking about giving them the women's tag titles. I don't know if you heard that one, but they said the ratings were so good on the Iconics segment since they debuted, they're going to hotshot that women's tag title idea and give it to them.
Yet they let one of the Iconics lose to Lana last week.
Lana is the best. Lana's number one. Yeah.
Their segments are highly rated only because they're hot. That's the only fucking reason. Because they're not great wrestlers and their mic skills are I mean, let's be honest.
Their voices annoy the shit out of me. Maybe it's a girl thing because they have nothing with the aspect of the looks part, but every time I see them come on the screen, I want to jump to the TV and beat the shit out of them.
No, their voices are annoying, and I think that's what they're going for, but also they did it to Rosenberg during a pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. That was great. Because they just sat there and annoyed the shit out of Rosenberg. I had to watch that. The whole segment was annoying. I couldn't watch the whole thing, but watching that one part of it, sure. Yeah, I feel like the act doesn't really have legs. Excuse the pun. They both have very nice legs, but what I'm saying is I don't think the gimmick. God. I don't think the gimmick has legs in terms of if they're just going to come out and Mean Girl every week and put somebody in their burn book. I don't know. You gotta move forward.
That's so fetch,
right? Yeah. Could you imagine if they just started wearing pink?
They're gonna start being Regina George.
Yeah, I just don't know where you go with if they really, because I don't know. I really never watched them wrestle in NXT. If they're not great wrestlers, but they can talk, they're still good. They're gonna do the Carmella thing where it's like, oh well, she's hot and she can moonwalk, so we're just gonna give her the title. They're just gonna give these girls a title or tag team titles, and it's just
I don't even think they're that hot though either. I don't know. I just
one of them is
Peyton's cute.
One of them is cute, and one of them is. I think both of them are cute, and one of them is better looking than the other one, and I don't know which one's which. I'm sorry.
Peyton is the hotter one.
The one with the really long hair.
Yeah, I think
I don't know which one. That one reminds me of looking at one of the Bella twins when they first came in, and it just annoys the piss out of me.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pull these. I'm looking at these. I know who you're talking. Yeah, so Peyton is the one with the long hair that kind of looks like a Bella twin. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Oh no,
yeah.
Billy Kay. Oh, the other way around. Other way around. I'm sorry.
The shorter hair.
Peyton's got the shorter hair. Billy Kay's got the longer hair. She does kind of look like a Bella twin.
It's reminding me of the Bella twins, and we all know I'm not.
You know what?
I
put the pictures side by side. I can't pick one. They're both.
Peyton's hotter. Peyton's hotter.
I want to treat both of them like the way I treat someone that tries to hit me with their cell phone on a Long Island double R.
Oh, you want to beat them up too? Should we?
Hell yeah.
Cat beat the shit out of some lady. We shouldn't say too much because we don't want her identified and then press charges or sue you or anything. But Cat beat the shit out of some lady the other day. It was great.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I had to try to prove it, but it's all good.
Yeah, you did. Showed up to the kids' spring concert looking like Stevie Wonder. One of the moms came up. She's like, "Is Justin treating you okay? Is everything all right?"
No, but can I tell you, my boss Bob was like, "Dude, do you stop pissing him off?" I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
That's right. The man's sick. You got to make him his dinner on time.
Fuck that. I ordered Chinese food.
There you go. What do we got on deck for tonight? Anything going on with what's SmackDown?
Well, we know we have a last man standing match now for Money in the Bank because AJ and Shinsuke announced that happened last week.
And they took that from that was supposed to be Johnny Gargano and Tommaso were supposed to do a last man standing match at the NXT. So they decided I sound like an old boy at the the NXT. But they were supposed to do a match for NXT that was last man standing, and they're going to change that now so Shinsuke and AJ can do it. As long as it's not that stupid, the double cock knocker kind of count out finish It needs to be a real finish, one way or another.
That's a real slobber knocker.
Yeah, he's like, what? Could you imagine JR trying to? He hit him in the dick. He hit him in the dick. Oh my God!
Did you see how
family?
Did you see how Shinsuke's signing his shirts now? Whatever when he's doing autographs.
Does he say no speaking English?
Yes, he does. He signs the shirts. He started signing. He signed somebody's pop the other day, and he put it up on Twitter and everything. He started signing everything no speak English when you ask for his autograph.
That is
need
fantastic.
one. I need that in my life. This
I
is
know, right?
this is funny racism. He's in on the joke. He understands.
But no, if you want to laugh, okay, you guys know my son Alex is like totally into it now. So the other day I go, Alex, will you stop it? Pick up your toys. Come on, let's go. And he turns around. Justin died because he turned around to me and goes, no speak English.
That's amazing.
My 3-year-old white son tells me no speak English.
No, what?
That
is amazing.
Justin freaking fell off the couch. He was laughing so hard.
I'm right there with him. That's awesome.
I'm like, I have no response. You can leave the toys. Go ahead, because I'm done.
So here's another question.
Hmm?
Yeah.
How does Braun Strowman not win Money in the Bank?
How does the Big Show not win the Royal Rumble every year? He's the biggest guy.
Yeah, but it's not.
No, I know.
But it's not even just because he's the biggest guy. He's the biggest, most
Star,
agile, and like face right now, like the biggest star right now in the match. And I feel like each week with what they're doing with him, it's only setting it up for the fact that he's not going to win Money in the Bank. And I'm just like, how does he not? Because I'm starting to think he's not going to win because they're all going to gang up and take him out.
Yep.
Yeah, I
But
feel
then
like
does he come back out and go, I'm not finished with you?
Oh, that would be a wonderful way to end that match if he just came up and said that and then won.
That would be amazing.
Especially if he carried like this comically oversized ladder to the ring and climbed it up and won.
Oh, dude, he could take like a mini ladder and all he's got to do is take 2 steps and just reach his arm up.
Yeah, I think OSW Review Podcast mentioned this, but I'm going to go with them on this. Hear me out here. Braun Strowman should flip the ring.
Oh, my God.
You know how he turned over the trucks and all that shit? And he should just pick up an end of the ring, and he doesn't have to flip it all the way over, but flip it on its side and dump everybody out.
How much do those things even halfway, though?
Oh, I don't know, but you think he actually lifted a truck? They had a crane.
No, of course not. I'm just saying in general. I was asking
I don't know.
a mathematical assessment.
They are heavy. They're
I was trying to put some intellect into this
I would
equation
say each ring post is probably 100 or 2, and then the cross beams, and then the planks, and then the carpet. I mean, it's
he's not lifting the ring.
No, he's not. But I mean, what if they had a little mechanism like underneath that like a hydraulic thing? You know, I mean, just give. He doesn't have, like I said, he doesn't lift all the way, but like, holy shit, he lifted the ring up and like rolled. So like that would be the way to clear the people out of the ring. So he would just have to
he would have to like just lift it high enough on a tilt where they can fall and roll.
Yep. Yeah.
And then he puts it down, runs in, and like sprints up the ladder.
I like that. Somebody tweet it to Vince.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I really think, man, Braun should have been factored into long-term plans 6 months ago, leading up to WrestleMania. And I know they already had their plan for WrestleMania set up 3 years in advance with, I almost called him Samoa Joe, but he's a Samoan named Joe. Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar. That was always the long-term plan, I guess, for the show. But there was something about Braun winning the Rumble or Braun surprise beating Brock Lesnar or any number of things where Braun gets in a main event position because he's been so hot. Like Elias. What's Elias? Is Elias, he's in the Money in the Bank, right?
Well, I don't know if he's in Money in the Bank, actually. I'd have to look, but I can tell you that they're starting an Elias-Seth Rollins feud.
I was going to say that's good because I think although it's going to look like Seth Rollins is feuding with like the Mario mushroom version of himself.
Yeah.
Like if Seth Rollins ate a Mario mushroom and got a little bigger. That would be a lot. But I think it would be good for Elias to be the Intercontinental Champion if they decide to go that way.
I'm totally down with Elias winning the title. I'm a big fan of Elias. I love everything they're doing with him. And I knew yesterday when Rollins cut off his concert, I knew something was happening at the end. And it was a good spot. I enjoyed that, and I think
I like that direction.
Good feud. I do too. I think it's gonna be a good feud.
Yeah, Money in the Bank right now is Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, The Miz, Rusev, Bobby Roode, Kevin Owens, and a New Day member, and one more to be determined.
Yeah, so they're gonna do Elias, Seth Rollins for the IC title at Money in the Bank.
That'll be good. Now, it's a there's just one briefcase this year, and it's for both brands. Is that what's going on?
I believe so.
So it's one briefcase, but you could cash in on either world champion at any time.
Right.
Correct.
I kind of dig that.
And then after last night, too, the leaders of the world are going to be taking on the B team, probably.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the B team doing the B team, whatever the B team does.
I mean, I like the B team, but there's no way.
I do too.
Oh, no, they're not going to win. But I support the idea that the B team is now, because they were the Miz Taraj after the Miz left for a while. I'm glad they found a name, even though it's kind of a, it's poking fun at themselves. But it's good shit.
They're hilarious.
And they had a barbecue.
They did.
They tried to earn their title shot by inviting everybody to a barbecue.
Dude,
that was the logic they took.
Rhino was awesome. Like, just sitting there eating bologna sandwiches. Hilarious.
Do you remember when they were doing the thing with him and Heath, when they were actually like at Heath's trailer or whatever, and
with the crackers and cheese?
Yeah, Rhino just kept eating the cheese and crackers. That's a smiley face on it. Like, that's just that guy. I want that Rhino to just be eating a sandwich in the background while somebody's cutting just have him walk by eating a sandwich.
Yeah,
we need more of that. I'm so glad that they found, because Rhino, when he's young and he's like the tough running through everybody, gore him, this and that. Sure, good gimmick. Now when he's a little bit older, I'm glad he worked in something different. He's like doing the comedy thing. Like, he's actually funny. Like, he's got timing. He's got the comedic timing.
Yeah, definitely.
Eating bologna sandwich. I wonder who came up with that, or if he's just like, hey, could you guys make me a plate of sandwiches and I'll just eat them?
So fucking funny.
I would like and then all the writers, like, he leaves the room and the writers like, he's really good. We should consult him more. And like, he closes the door and he's like, yes, I was just hungry. So they both got two different things out of the conversation. They both got what they wanted. We have any questions this week yet?
We had the one question that came in last week from Medulla.
Yes.
That was it.
What did he say?
It came in after the show started. Medulla had said, whatchamacallit, are you guys bored watching Kurt Angle yet as general manager? It's getting worse and worse by the week. And Ronda Rousey's not ready.
I love Kurt Angle as general manager because I feel like it's like, whose line is it anyway every week? They just go, Kurt, you're going to be standing in the parking lot trying to get a cell phone signal, and go. He's like, fuck, how do I pretend to, like, he didn't know how to search for his cell phone. I was like, the whole thing is great. It's wonderful. It's like The Room, the movie The Room. You watch it to see what's going to happen next.
I watched that movie to pray for it to end. Oh.
I have no issue with Kurt Angle as general manager. I just like, I would much rather him be back in the ring all the time. So it's kind of like, for me,
but can he do it?
Well, yeah, I do. I think he can. Not maybe full time, but more so than he's doing. Yeah, I think he could.
Gotcha.
But I don't think he's terrible. I mean, are there other people that could do a better job? Of course, but we're getting our dose of Angle. I don't know. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I like that he's on the show and he's staying involved in wrestling, because I mean, I'm sure he could go and be on TV other ways, but this was what he was built for. So it's good that he's involved, even if he's a little worse for wear after the hard life that he's lived for some years. But he's doing it. I'm glad he's there. And Ronda's not ready yet in terms of, as we discussed, just she's ready in the sense that she's physically fit and capable, but she's not ready in the sense that there was no build up to this. There was no story.
Yeah, there's nobody that's going to disagree with Medulla on Ronda Rousey. It's not that she's not ready. She's not ready to be champion.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the main thing, and I don't see this. Fucking A, man. I don't even know.
I don't know what you do.
The day they announced it, I think it's bad for everybody involved. I don't see it being a positive. Even if Ronda wins the title, it's not going to be a positive thing. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong.
And the way that they even announced it with the whole thing with with Charlotte and Ronda and Nia, it felt all wrong just from start to finish.
Yeah, because it had to. Everybody was cheering Nia. They had to turn her. That was like when everybody cheered Seth and he had to come out with, I still don't like John Cena. And then everybody booed again. Like they fucking killed him. They killed him dead for a year. And they think they killed Nia dead for at least a year or two. Because she was on a roll, Steve. You were right. We got to like her. I came around on Nia in terms of her performances. Like she's improving. She's no Ric Flair. But, you know, she was improving. And I feel like they needed to have her wrestle Natty and her wrestle Mickey and kind of wrestle the good hands of the division and earn her respect as a champion. And that would be great. Nice little story of somebody who was first-time champion earning their way up and proving that they deserve the belt. But then they just... Yeah,
put her in with the veterans, absolutely.
And they go and turn her heel with no story. She just comes out one week and decides that she doesn't like Ronda because Stephanie McMahon is apparently... Professor X and can just implant thoughts in your brain. That's the sense I got of the story was Stephanie McMahon sent telepathic signals to both of them that some shit needed
microchips.
I just don't know because even like you see Steph in the background like wringing her hands and with that evil look. Wouldn't you just be like, I don't want to fall for this again? She just got me. She put one over on me like a month ago.
Yeah.
Learn your lesson. Stephanie's out for herself.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's in the follow-up. Well, it's the finish to the match and the follow-up to the match, but we shouldn't be discussing it at this point. We shouldn't be anywhere near it. I liked the idea that Ronda was going to face Charlotte in a year at WrestleMania.
Yes.
And if they built towards that, I don't even care if they did John Cena and The Rock, where Ronda came out on SmackDown and said, in 1 year, I'm challenging you. And then we just had that in the back pocket. I don't care if they spoiled it that early. It would have been a great road for Ronda to take rather than this kind of weird, oh, well, now she's a ratings draw, so we have to put the title on her.
Not that I think this would change the perspective at all. But I think one thing that probably could have helped a little bit. Yep. Ronda should have been in a match every single week since that announcement leading up to the pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Even if it's with hometown people and you know, she does little job deals. But
she's wrestling on the European tour and the house shows and shit. So I mean,
but that means nothing. You got to do it on TV.
We're not seeing it exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. We know she can do it. We're seeing footage from people posting it on Twitter. Let's see what she can do. Put her in there because she worked a lot of sequences over the house show tours with Ruby Riott. Put her in the ring with Ruby Riott. Let her wrestle Ruby. Ruby's a good wrestler. So we can see what would happen there. Put her, and this is like Nia. You put her in the ring with the veterans. You let them see what it's like to work with more experienced people and then gain knowledge from that experience. It shouldn't be that hard.
Although, maybe this. So this past week, Nia had Ronda watch her destroy somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe next week, Ronda does the same.
Oh, man. What if she did the Brock Lesnar and just opened him up with elbows?
That would be awesome.
Oh, that would be amazing.
There's no blood in the women's division.
Or it's like Undertaker Brock, and they just start brawling all over the building.
Oh, that could be cool.
That would be cool, too.
But I wonder if you want to do that with Ronda's basically second match. I know it's not her second match, but...
No. But I mean, it wouldn't be a match. It would just be a straight brawl. Like this would
before the bell even.
Like next week on Raw, they're face to face.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They just start, throwing fisticuffs, and now next thing you know, it's like 10, 15 minutes in, and they're still brawling all over the building, and people are trying to tear them apart, and they're the whole thing.
Like they both,
just to build it a little more. Give us something. Show like. Nia be a little fucking concerned that she's about to get in there with Ronda fucking Rousey.
That's the funny thing is it's not even like a cocky. You can't even say it's like cocky heel trying to get heat by not showing concern. This is just you're being obstinate and ignorant and not realizing the situation that you're in. And again, if we present this as a sporting event and a competition, and somebody says to me, you're fighting Ronda Rousey. I'm going to go, oh, shit. Well, I got to work extra hard, and I might not win this one, and I got to be concerned and find a strategy. There's none of that. And maybe that's the story they're going to tell, that she underestimated Ronda, and Ronda's going to tap her out in like a minute, and then Ronda's going to win the belt, and she's going to be celebrating, and then Nia kicks the shit out of her, which leads to the automatic rematch the next month, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But I don't like that we have to even discuss this right now. We shouldn't be talking about it. We should be talking about it during SummerSlam, during Survivor Series, during WrestleMania. It was too soon to bring Ronda into the title picture.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just to remind people, if you are listening to the show and you'd like to send in a question or a comment, the email address is askthewarreport@gmail.com, and you can also use the hashtag AskTheWarReport and tag me a date on social media. So if you do ask a question or send a comment to AskTheWarReport@gmail.com, or you use the hashtag AskTheWarReport and tag me a date, you'll be entered into our monthly WrestleRumble.com pay-per-view Pickem contest. You will win one entry. The question of the month will win one entry to the monthly pay-per-view Pickems from WrestleRumble.com. They actually have two going this month, one for NXT and one for Money in the Bank. So if you win one of those entries by asking a question, we can have your pick of the takeover event or Money in the Bank. Whichever event you want to enter, whichever prizes speak to you, I guess, on the WrestleRumble.com page, they'll detail all of the prizes. You can check that out. And, whichever one you end up winning. So I hope if you submit a question that you're our winner, and it doesn't have to be the best question of the month. It could be the most interesting, the funniest question or comment, the one that gets the most discussion out of us. It's by feel. We just know when a question is the question of the month. So we'll do more questions next week if you submit them and Ask the War Report, and then we'll reveal a winner when we get closer.
We get a good vibe about it.
Right? Yeah, we just get a good vibe. Excuse me.
We're feeling the vibes.
Definitely. Now, is there anything else coming up on SmackDown that we should talk about? Or
Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe.
That's a good one. That's happening tonight.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yes.
They're promoting it as first time, but
well, it's the first time in the WWE. Yeah, it's the first. They wrestled probably years and years ago. I have a DVD of them wrestling from like 15 years ago, probably.
Ring of Honor, right?
Yeah, they were in Ring of Honor, and then there was PWG out in California. PWG just had their last event in the old VFW building there. I guess that building is shutting down, and they've ran there for a solid decade. So they're moving. Young Bucks were there.
The last time the two of them faced each other, though, was in 2006 in Raleigh, North Carolina, this says.
Oh, here.
Probably for Ring of Honor, yeah.
I got something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All In.
Oh, yeah. That's
CM Punk, is CM Punk returning to the ring?
There is a rumor. Well, first of all, he's got a fight in a week.
Yes.
So he's got his last contracted UFC fight. And then, who knows? And then the girl, I hate to say girl, woman, journalist, reporter, I don't know her name. She was kind of master of ceremonies of the press conference. And she said she kind of intimated that CM Punk was backstage at the press conference, like gauging the response. So perhaps the other funny thing is, I don't know if you've heard this, the NWA title is being defended, possibly defended, because Nick Aldis, the current NWA champion, said he will accept Cody's challenge only if Cody wins the Ring of Honor world title, and then it's title for title.
Oh.
Ooh.
Which tells me, sorry, Dalton Castle, you're losing that title in the next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Unfortunately, because Dalton's a good guy, and I like the way he works, and everybody really likes him in Ring of Honor. He gets such a good reaction there. But if they're building NWA title versus Ring of Honor title, main event of All In, and I know, okay, people are saying they might do a Dusty finish as a tribute to Dusty and have nothing happen and it's a draw. But I feel like you can't go out on that note and it's your first big event that you guys are self-financing. You can't go out on that kind of note. I think
no, you can't.
The appropriate thing, and maybe Nick Aldis probably even realizes this, and Billy Corgan, the appropriate thing is for Dusty's son, Cody, to win the NWA title and become a historic father and son world champion duo who held the same title 30 years apart or 40 years apart.
Cool.
It would be such a moment. And, he gets the blade job and he's bleeding and his hair's all red. Picture it already. Like it's I really would like to see that happen. I don't know what direction they're going with the NWA, so maybe this will be a more clear direction if it ends up that Cody wins the title and then maybe he transitions out of Ring of Honor and then all of a sudden he's just the NWA representative. I don't know what his contract is like. I don't know what the deal is.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Look, CM Punk's fight is June 9th.
It is in Chicago, isn't it?
What, Punk's fight?
I didn't see that part.
Oh, no, All In.
Oh, All In. Yeah, All In's in Chicago, yeah.
So, All In is in Chicago, yeah.
So that would be, and Punk is doing an autograph signing like the day before or the week before the event at that Pro Wrestling Tees store, and Pro Wrestling Tees is like one of the big, they help those guys out, and they're kind of, with it. Like the press conference was at the Pro Wrestling Tees store. So there's all this kind of, there's a lot of healthy speculation that CM Punk is going to be there, at least in some capacity. Whether or not he returns as a wrestler and wrestles a match, I don't know. Does he make an appearance? Does he hit somebody with the go to sleep? I don't know. It would be very, very exciting if he did, because I miss seeing CM Punk perform, and I know he got burned out in the WWE, and he wanted to try this UFC thing, and you know what? Fuck it. They're paying you a lot of money to go in there and do something that maybe he's not necessarily the most qualified to do, but he's got the balls to do it, because even if they were throwing that money at me, I don't know if I'd have the balls to go in there and fight somebody and potentially get seriously injured. So he's risking a lot for chasing a dream, and I can't fault him for that, but a selfish part of me wants him back in wrestling, cutting the promos that I know he can cut, and wrestling, and I know he's older now, but wrestling the matches that I know he can wrestle. It's a loss to wrestling to have a guy like CM Punk not be involved anymore. He's such a crossover star. Like Roman Reigns is a good-looking guy and all, and he can pretty much go anywhere. And I know the WWE isn't too keen on people covered in a lot of tattoos, but Punk delivers a different audience. Like Aleister Black brings in a different type of audience than a Roman Reigns does. So it's just he could show up to more kind of cutting-edge events.
See, to me, CM Punk is way hotter than Roman Reigns.
And there you go. From a woman.
That could just make, but to me, CM Punk was way hotter than Roman Reigns. I don't know if it's the tattoos or whatever, but just Roman Reigns just
where is
nothing
John
for
Cena
me
in all this?
I've never thought John Cena was good looking.
Wow.
Never had anything go for John Cena. But see, back in the day, like I was a Shawn Michaels.
I was just going to say you like Shawn Michaels. Oh, yeah, you were big on Marty. Yeah.
Yes, I had a bigger crush on Marty than I did on Shawn when the Rockers were going on in the 80s. We'll admit it. Cried totally with the barbershop window. Cried like a baby.
Man.
will admit it freely. But see, I had a crush on Randy Savage at one point too when I was a kid too.
I wouldn't say he's a traditionally handsome guy, but I get it. He's like a rugged.
And the eyes thing was cool. The blue eyes was very captivating to me.
I get that.
But Roman Reigns has never done anything for me. I'm trying to think what the other one is. Like, some people like have like a hard-on crush for like Baron Corbin. I don't see it.
Oh man, that's a rough one. His hairline does it for me. That's what kills it. Like,
I don't see the Bo Dallas one. I don't get what the crush is with that one either. Bo Dallas's
little dolphin teeth creep me out.
See, I get that whole, but like, especially after you said that whole Mayan thing, like from Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, yep. No, not feeling it with him. At all. But Kurt Hennig was cute to me too.
No, he's a good looking guy. He was in shape. How about Scott Hall? I always thought Scott Hall was kind of an underrated, flew under the radar, in shape, good looking guy.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I said, but you know, like not as X-Pac or 6, but when he first came out as the 1, 2, 3 kid, Sean, like, you know, like a Mr. Puny, but in a Mr. Puny-verse kind of way. Sean's face was cute. The rest of them had to go, but you know.
I understand. Man, it's interesting because that's not a side of wrestling I ever really, you know.
But I don't look at wrestling for that angle. But I don't watch wrestling for that either. Because if I did, like, you know, then I'd have Bastion Booger and Rikishi to look at. And if I'm looking at Yokozuna, if I'm looking that for a John Tenta, if I'm looking for that for looks, I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I'm like, what was his name? I can't even remember what his name was now. Shit. Crush. Had a big crush on Bryan Adams.
You had a crush on Crush. Shaka Bra. All right.
Big time. No, not the pink outfit. Not the Coda Crush outfit.
She was fan of the DOA Crush with the vest and the motorcycle.
Oh yeah,
there it is. I knew it.
There we go. Yeah, not the one with Mr. Fuji either. That not happening.
We know you've got a type, Kat. I just don't know how Justin fits into that type.
Because Justin, what he wears half the time for work and everything looks nothing like that. Justin has tattoos and everything also.
Oh, so he's all right. So he cleans himself up to be presentable.
Yes.
He's really okay.
Yes,
I
for work.
It
Justin and I met at a bar when we were both working for bands. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's there you go. You do definitely have it. Although then you should be into Baron Corbin, right? Because he's like a band's rock and roll guy. No, I don't get it either with him.
That's like some Nikki Sixx after, you know, a big bender. No, I don't do the old. I don't do the old. I like your Tommy Lee or something. I don't do the old fart look.
He does kind of look like Tommy Lee. Oh no.
But he looks like Tommy Lee after he's done all of the binging and everything.
He looks like Tommy Lee now.
Right. You know, if you look like Richie Sambora, I might be able to make the exception.
Well, there you go.
You know, don't get me started on my Richie Sambora. That's the reason I got a freaking black eye. Forget it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't go to see Bon Jovi for Bon Jovi. I went to go hope that Richie was around somewhere.
That's wonderful.
I will admit it freely. Richie Sambora's on my celebrity pass list. I will admit this freely.
So, this guy, our buddy, we were just talking about, Marty Jannetty. Well, somebody posted a picture on Facebook. I'm trying to find it now. I think I know who posted it. I'm going to find it. So somebody on my Facebook posted a picture that Marty Jannetty posted on his Facebook. And Marty Jannetty is in rough shape right now. I don't know if anybody knows this. I'm waiting for my Facebook feed to load, but
I posted it in the group. There's a GoFundMe for him. Yeah,
there is one. All right, because
it's in our chat.
He posted. Did you see the picture of Marty Jannetty's foot though?
It's in the post. It's in there. Yep, because it was after the match that he had with that kid. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just found it from Marty's Facebook. It's all I don't know. All right, because Kat, you're a medical person.
Yeah.
Maybe you can help me out with this. Is it a fractured ankle? What is that?
Let's see.
Because it's swollen. Definitely.
That's the ankles and the toes and probably part of his fibula as well.
Oh.
Because that's going across his. You see how it's going to the bones popping out on the side there.
Yeah.
And then it's going across his foot. That's a shattering in there.
Okay, yeah. He says
it's a shattering across there, and then it's cracking the bones on the other side, but it's clear cut down the middle.
Yeah,
see?
I see what you're saying.
You see where the dent is on the other side of his foot?
Yeah,
that's not supposed to be sitting there like that. It's all fractured in.
Oh, it's all put. Yeah. Ugh. So he says in the post, poor guy. Maybe it for me as far as in-ring performing, although it may not look bad. Which no, it definitely looks bad, dude. Though it may not look bad, the pain is not worth bitching from some fans. Fans were complaining about him not performing.
They made a big stink about it. Mm-hmm.
He couldn't walk.
He's got a couple of broken toes there too.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, also you can tell just from he's got foot fungus, and then he wears shoes that are too small. So there's a whole deal going on there. The man needs a podiatrist, but
there's nothing wrong with his eyes. Sorry, Bobby Heenan.
But he was wrestling Joey Janela, I believe, is when it happened. So Joey said he's gonna try and raise money for him too, which is a very noble thing because Marty Jannetty is Joey Janela's favorite wrestler, and that's why he wanted to do all of that for him. So which is very, very nice of him. It happened first of all, it happened the first 30 seconds of a match, and he went another 15 minutes with a broken foot.
Wow.
Crushed.
No one ever said the guy wasn't a warrior, man. The guy really was really talented performer.
He was one of those guys that was like, this is why you don't do drugs.
Yep.
Like he had everything. He had the look, he had the skill and the talent. He might not have had the promos, but he could wrestle his ass off, and he fucked it up. And Sean fucked it up too for a little while. He didn't fuck it up as badly as Marty did, but I mean, God, you just see there's so much potential. A guy like Marty Jannetty, there's so much potential. And the same thing with like Texas Tornado, Von Erich. Just potential and what was lost and fucked up due to drugs. So that's a lesson for you.
I love that he has that picture in front of the barber shop, though. I love that.
Yeah, that's his profile picture. Is just him in front of a barber shop. He's got
a Puerto Rico barber shop, man. I love it.
That's wonderful.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. All right, so we're towards the top of the hour here. Our friends Eric and Amanda and Ryan did not join us this evening, unfortunately, but you know, that happens. They had things to do and people to see and places to go. But they will join us again next week, and I hope you will too. Right here on YouTube, we go live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Eastern Time. And we go for about an hour. You can go to youtube.com, type in Tag Me a Date. That's all one word, Tag Me a Date, take out the spaces. And you'll be directed to the Tag Me a Date channel, where you can like our videos, you can subscribe, you can hit the bell to be notified. The bell is when it's like subscribing, but you get a notification when we upload a video or when we go live. Oh yeah, you should also go to tagmeadate.com. Why would I forget the main reason we're here? So you should sign up. It's free. Tagmeadate.com is the first and only dating site exclusively for fans of professional wrestling. We've got like a roster of over 75,000 superstars and divas, all looking for their tag team match. And you can find yours too at tagmeadate.com. You can update your profile with a picture. You can update with a video. Promo video, that's a different thing than just a profile picture. You can put up a little video clip. It's awesome. And you can message and send animations and emojis and all that stuff. And search by zip code, search by favorite wrestler or favorite pay-per-view, favorite tag team, favorite manager. There's lots of different ways for you to search. We've got Android and Apple apps coming down the chute any minute now. We'll let you know when those are in the stores.
Very soon. Very soon.
I'm looking forward to those. We've tested them out and we've checked them out, and they're awesome. So we're looking forward to that. Just go to tagmeadate.com and sign up now, because that account that you use is going to be just as good on the app as it is with the website. So sign up now. Save yourself some time. Sign up, go to tagmeadate.com, search, find your tag team match, all for free. We will eventually have a premium section, so get in now. Get in on the ground floor while it's still free. We will check you out next Tuesday. Remember to send your questions to AskTheWarReport at gmail.com. or use the hashtag at AskTheWarReport and tag me on social media. So I think that's it. You got anything else we need to inform the people of today?
That's it for me.
Sweet. All right.
Enjoy SmackDown.
Yes, SmackDown is coming up. SmackDown Live. Enjoy SmackDown. And we will see you here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for watching.